Okay, we're starting out in Essentials for College Math, and we're going to look at our first lesson of the whole thing. Before we get started, just keep in mind, go through, do the best you can on each one of these, and if you have questions and you're doing this virtual, please, you can email me and we can set up a time to do a Zoom meeting if you want. I'll have a certain day and time. I'll let you know what that's going to be, one evening a week where you can log on to Zoom, and I'll be there and you can ask questions. So I'm going to get that set up once I know my college schedule. I'll be finished in December, graduating with my master's. So it's going to be an interesting semester, but we'll get through this. Okay, so this first task is task 1, Bucky the Badger. You'll notice below this intro video, there's going to be a link to a video, and it's about Bucky the Badger. He is a mascot for Wisconsin, and you're going to watch the first part. It's 3 acts, so watch the first part. It's actual from one of the sports channels several years ago, and it talks about a particular game where Bucky the Badger agrees to do the push-ups as the score changes for Wisconsin. And then at the end, it tells you they scored, I think, 83 points. So it's asking you how many push-ups he did total. Now, the last time he did 83, but the first time, let's say they got a field goal, they got 3 points, or they could have got a touchdown and the extra point, which is 7. So that's the only 2 numbers that we're really dealing with as we're going through this. If you're not familiar with football, a touchdown is 6 points, and then they kick for the extra point. We're going to assume that they get that every time, so that's 7 altogether. And then if they get down and they cannot make it into the end zone and make a touchdown, sometimes they kick for a field goal, which is worth 3 points. So once you watch that clip, Act 1, and for you, those of you in class, you're going to see in class, you're going to go through and restate the Bucky the Badger problem in your own words, okay? Just write it however, in your own words, exactly what's going on. Then you're going to think of about how many push-ups did you think he did during the game, and you're going to write down a number too high and too low, and then it's going to ask you what further information do you need to figure out exactly how many he did. And then it asks a couple other questions. If you're lucky, would you rather team score their field goals at the start of the game or the end? And what are some number of push-ups that Bucky will never do in any game? Okay, so when I'm looking at that last question, what are some of the numbers of push-ups that Bucky will never do in any game? You could say 1, for example, because you can't kick for the extra point unless you've already scored a touchdown. So that would be an example of a number that he would never do. Okay? So watch Act 1 and then answer these questions, and then afterwards I will direct you to the rest of the video clips. Okay? All right.